The Texas Tribune is reporting that around 30 Texas National Guard members deployed for Operation Lone Star were sent to private Texas ranches instead of the border, in some cases more than 80 miles from the actual border. In that Tribune article, a Texas National Guard soldier is quoted as saying, "We really don't understand why we are there. We're essentially mall security for ranches that already have paid security details to protect them." Here to talk about this is Glenn Smith, Senior Strategist at Progress Texas, and James Dickey, CEO of JD Key Communications. Now, Fox 7 has also reported on troop morale, suicides, and mission concerns within the Texas National Guard. James Dickey, does this new Tribune report give the governor's messaging about the border an even tougher row to hoe?
No, this has always been a complicated challenge. We all know, and a majority of Texans agree, immigration is a giant problem. But we've got a federal government who not only won't cooperate on stopping the problem, they're making the problem worse. And so it's not at all surprising that since people don't just stay at the border, they come across the border and travel across land, travel inland to Texas, that the Texas Guard is going to have to be inland a little away from the Border Patrol folks that President Biden is allowing to encourage, not just allow, illegal immigration.
Glenn Smith, National Guard members comparing themselves to mall security. Do you think Operation Lone Star was really just kind of thrown together because of politics and election year?
It was clearly thrown together, and it was no more than a photo op for Governor Abbott to use in his campaign. He ought to be paying for it out of his campaign funds. It serves no purpose whatsoever. We've had guardsmen down there left without toilets, having to sleep in trailers, having to sleep on the ground, not given a mission, left there and abandoned, really. And, you know, one thing that's misleading, there's no open borders policy, as Republicans like to, use a little soundbite. The numbers of the border that they report are being caught. They're being stopped. There's no need for National Guard anywhere down there. And I've been able to bring them back and let them join their families, get back to their jobs now. It's time for this charade to end.
James, the governor appointed a new commander for Operation Lone Star earlier this week. Do you think that is going to fix some of these issues that Glenn has just been talking about?
Well, certainly, as we've seen at the national level, a change in leadership can make a massive change for the better or for the worse. We've seen a giant change for the worse ever since President Biden came in and started issuing executive orders and stopping doing what was working during the prior administration. We've seen giant failures. Hopefully, change in leadership at the State Guard will mean an improvement. And certainly, it's the governor's responsibility to make sure that we do have the best possible leadership in place, because Texas and frankly all of the United States needs us to be sure to protect that border. We have seen spikes in fentanyl overdose, we've spikes in drugs and in trafficking. It has to stop.
Glenn, the border is going to continue to be a central part of the governor's reelection campaign. What do you think Beto could do better as far as the border policy is?
He could do everything better. He could do real state solutions to it instead of these little charades that Abbott likes to pull.
For example?
Everybody knows it's a photo op. So let me use a couple of examples, right? We've got to reinforce what the federal government's doing, and let's be clear about one thing. They are stopping the people at the border. Republicans like to leave the impression that these people are making it up and moving into the suburbs of Minneapolis. It's not true. They're being stopped. So there's more people coming from Central and South America because of crises there, but they're being stopped. What the state needs to do is its part on this side of the border, meeting any of the needs of the people that are down there, stopping them, right, of the local governments that may need help. That's what the state could do, and I think Beto could do a great job of that.
Okay, well, for now, the mission is not going away. We have to wrap it up. James, Glenn, as always, thank you both very much.
Thank you.